All right, well, as you can see, I'm back in the UK. I flew back from Norway yesterday via Amsterdam. Already, alarm clock went off 6:45 this morning because we're on our way to Coventry. I have bought another motorcycle. I actually bought the bike while I was in Norway because me and Elias, who has just recently passed his test, on Sunday, which is, what are we today? Wednesday?
Yeah, it's
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Gosh.
Wednesday.
So yeah, in just like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in 4 days, 4.5 days time, we are heading off on Elias's first tour, and he's decided that he wanted to go all the way to Switzerland. So while I'm back, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. While I'm back here in the UK, which is like for about 3 weeks, a whole week of that is going to be riding down through France, probably over into Germany, get ourselves some German sausage, down into Switzerland, and then back again. That's what's happening.
Got a yodel in the mountains.
Gonna do some yodeling in the mountains, definitely. So this bike is a little bit interesting. I was actually looking for a Honda Hornet 600. And as I was looking on like Facebook Marketplace and various things like that, I came across a couple of nice ones, but I realized that the Honda Hornet probably isn't the right bike for me. I mean, I'm nearly 50 years old. What's a 50-year-old doing riding around on a Hornet? And as I was looking for the Honda Hornet, another bike came up, which was a Honda CB750. I sent a message saying, that looks lovely, I'm interested in this one. Sorry if the camera's rocking around a bit there, it's a bit windy. Hang on, I'll move it. Maybe there's better. Yeah, maybe. I sent a message, said this looks really nice, it's still available. And it turns out that the guy that was selling it is a subscriber. So we got into a conversation. I didn't need to haggle on the price. It was a great price already. And we're on our way up to Coventry now. So we've just stopped off at McDonald's for a quick coffee, and I'm going to ride it back. As you can see, the weather is a little bit incremental. It might rain, so I've got all of the kit with me just in case. But it looks like it might hold. So I'm going to get myself a nice Honda CB750 to ride backwards. 1998 model. Looks really tidy. Obviously it's an older bike, so who knows, you never know. But my old bike, my Thunderbird, has been there and back with no trouble, so I don't think the Honda will be any trouble. So now we've both got Hondas. You got the Honda Rebel 500.
I know. That's the first thing I noticed when you sent me the picture. I was like, oh, you got a Honda.
We're Honda riders. Yeah. So I sent a message to my mate back in Norway, and he said, the only reason you're going to need a toolkit with you when you go on tour with that bike is to fix all the other bikes that break down, because that Honda will never break down. So I'm hoping that's true. Anyway, we're going to hit the road.
About 30 minutes away.
About 30 minutes away.
Yeah, something like that.
Glad you can come along. Right, here we are. Come to pick up the bike. I can't see it anywhere, but this is the right house, I know that. Well, there she is, right there.
She's a little minter, to be honest.
Mate, that looks tidy,
doesn't
doesn't
it? Tape all
it?
around here
Yeah,
to stop the tank rubbing.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's a very tidy bike, isn't it?
See how much fuel's in it, look.
Oh yeah, yeah. How hilarious is that?
That's your condensation line, yeah.
Yeah. Mate, that looks really lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All the original stuff as well.
Yeah.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant. There he is.
That's some freezing cold.
Yeah, yeah. And it hasn't been started since you did the video?
About a week and a half, two.
Nice. All right.
There you go.
That feels very smooth.
You wait.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Thank you
If,
so
you,
much.
if you're
man.
down in Bristol, come visit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Bless you, mate. Thank you.
Right, well, as you can see, I am going to tell you how much I paid for this, but to be quite honest, I feel a little bit bad in some ways that I paid so little for such a fantastic bike. Andrew, the guy I bought it off, clearly this was a bit of a big deal selling this, and I get that because it really is a beauty. What an absolute, I mean, you just know it's a beauty. You just rev it and you can hear it, and you know that this thing will just travel around the world. Now I'm going to follow my son Elias on. He's obviously driving the car. We're going to go and fill up some fuel and we're off. Cheers, mate. Thank you so much. I'd say that this just feels a little bit like a blessing, to be honest. I got my old motorcycle helmet on, which is super comfortable, but it's old. So what's my first impressions? Well, the word smooth comes to mind. It's very smooth, and it just feels so light compared to the Thunderbird. Now, it isn't wildly lighter than the Thunderbird. I think this weighs in at about 215 kilos or something. But the Thunderbird is 240 odd kilos wet, and I think this is 250 kilos wet. The tank, again, it feels lower down. Everything feels like it's a little bit lower down, so you've got that kind of weight distribution that is different than the Thunderbird. The Thunderbird is higher up and this weight is lower down. This feels like a bike that's just come out of the showroom, which is unusual for a 30-year-old bike.
I went and left my rain jacket in Elias's car, and also my waterproof gloves, and it's absolutely pouring it down with rain. So, and I don't think it's going to get any better. So I looked at the weather forecast. In fact, it's forecast thunder and lightning, and I'm riding into that, not riding away from it. You can see behind me, up there, it's actually not so bad, but the other way is just grey, it's just looking nasty. So, but on a positive note, this bike is absolutely phenomenal. It is such a smooth ride. It's a Honda. It's never going to break down, and it's always going to be a smooth ride. So, and this one is particularly tidy. Leaving the guy in Coventry, I think it was quite a hard sale for him, actually, and it was being sold because of health reason, and it wasn't because he didn't want to ride or anything like that. I'm turning around, that's a bit better light. There we go. He was selling it because of health reasons, bad back and neck. Obviously, years in the military and whatnot tends to kind of take it out of a guy physically. So it was a bit of a tough sale for him, I think. But I'm super chuffed he sold it, because this thing, look at it. I mean, it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. It rides beautifully. This bike is going to be 30 years old next year. And a lot of people think that's really old, but I tell you what, when I was 30, I felt strong, fast, capable, flexible, powerful. And that's how these 30-year-old motorcycles still feel, you know? So they need to be given a chance. I have to say, I've never really been interested in injectors on bikes, you know, digital stuff and all that kind of thing. I love my carbs. because I know I can pull them apart. Even though I'm not an expert with carbs, I know I can pull it apart and kind of fix it if I have to in the middle of nowhere. So that's why I always tend to go for these older bikes. But listen to this. I'm going to tell you how much I paid for this bike. I have just paid £1,250 for this bike. And I think that is a ridiculous bargain. A ridiculous bargain. For what you get for £1,250. I mean, this thing will ride around the world. I'm going to ride it down to France, possibly down into Switzerland. This time next week, we might well be in Switzerland, me and Elias, both riding our Hondas, his Honda Rebel 500 and my Honda CB750. And these bikes will just go forever. If you wanted to just get on this bike and ride it around the world, you could. You really could. I know you could. And that's the thing with a lot of people look at the age of a bike and they're like, nah, I want something really new, otherwise it's not going to work for me. But that's not just the case. That's not the case with a bike like this. It's just not the case. This will go forever. So the rain's still coming down. It's not exactly pouring, but I don't think there's any getting away from it. So I'm gonna get wet, whether I like it or not. And I am already a little bit wet, but I've got Elias's waterproof Tech Speed trousers on. I bought my waterproof jacket and left it in his car. Oh my life. And my waterproof heated gloves as well. Not that I need it today, it's a nice temperature. It's quite balmy. Anywho's, what a great ride. What a great buy. I am super chuffed. I feel like I've just bagged an absolute bargain. And I just want to thank Andrew for that, because this bike has been well maintained, well looked after by him and the previous owners as well. I think it's had 6 owners since new, which for a 30-year-old bike is not that many. Beauty. This Honda 750F2 from 1996, not 1998 like I said earlier on, has kind of surprised me a little bit. I've not really ridden that many Hondas before, and I've always heard that they're really smooth. Obviously, I rode the Goldwing the other day from 1975. That's a bit older. It's about 20 years older than this bike. But for a 30-year-old bike, there's loads of pull. It feels like a new engine. So that's really nice. And it starts on the button. So everything looks good for our long tour through Switzerland, France, Belgium, Germany, all of that. Bit risky taking a bike that I've just bought without having a proper overhaul. But I've just ridden it back from Coventry and it seems really good. So I'm not concerned about anything in particular. But you never know with these older bikes, something could crop up, we'll see. But I'm really, really looking forward to riding this one. And it's fun to have a Honda. And it's so different from the Thunderbird as well. They're not really comparable in many ways. Having a 3-cylinder bike and a 4-cylinder bike, the characteristics are so different. But it just feels lovely. I can't wait to get this one on the open road and do a long tour with it. So, see you next time. If you haven't liked or subscribed, do both of those. If you want to. Always a positive thing for me. See you next time.